Hello and welcome to my Edessa Let's Play series. So in the previous episode we finally managed to land our very first mining rover on the moon, and we started our very first mining base on the moon. Now what we need to do next is we need a way to take the processed material from the moon, refine it into fuel. So that's already done, that's already done in the base, but what we need now is we need to take that fuel and deliver it to orbit so that craft in orbit can use it to refuel themselves. In order to do that, we need a fuel carrier. Now the fuel carrier rover is very similar to the mining rover. If I can just find it, here we go. Mining lander. Okay, it does not seem to be here. This is a mining base. What we want is the RVR fuel carrier. It doesn't seem to be here. So let's check my Kerbal X. So rover. Fuel lander. Fuel carrier, heavy rover, pair up with rover mining lander to establish a mining depot, ferry fuel into orbit for waiting thirsty ships. Okay, so this is our fuel lander. So it is, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but it is dedicated to carrying fuel and very little else. It also has a jump seat and a cupola. It should have its own command module as well. There we go. That's the hex mining control module. So all of this is good and ready. If we do this, it becomes upright, and then we can use it from there. I'll save this for now. Go to our lifter, which has got to be in here somewhere. Oh, Kerbal X, current save, please. So heavy mining lander lifter. We'll have that, please. Now what I want to do is I want to reuse exactly the same lifter rocket, but I want to put the fuel rover on it. The way that I'll do it, that is, I'll save this lifter by itself as a prefab. Before I do that though, let me something that I forgot to do last time, and that is to make jib on it, and the Kerbal engineer as well. There we go. So yeah, we should have our delta V calculations available to us now. I think that's it. I don't think I forgot anything else. Okay, so I'll save that, and now we want to turn this bottom end into a prefab. So sub-assemblies, custom category, we'll call it lifters. Okay, and we want to give it an icon, something that signifies heavy lift. Well, it looks alright, but hard to tell really which one of these icons is a good one to use. Let's see. There we go. So lifters, and we'll drag this guy in there. I don't know what's happening here, but there we go. And this one will be called HVY for heavy mining lander lifter. Heavy duty lifter designed to carry a mining / fuel lander. Rovers. Save. Okay, let's get over to our rover fuel lifter, or fuel lander. And attach the subassembly. Beautiful. Okay, that's looking good. Now we just need to attach the fairing. So build fairing, please. There we go. Nah, just preferred white, that'll do. So, delta V of 5,807. Looks fairly decent to me, so we're going to rename this one from being a fuel lander to HVY, fuel lander lifter 1. I'm not sure if we actually need these anymore, these delta wings. Then again, there is an incredible amount of drag. Even with the fairing, it is huge. So yeah, for the sake of safety, I'm just going to leave that there. Now this time, we want to take someone with us. It's a bit of a risk, but we do need an engineer on the ground to boost the rate of extraction. Yeah, Jodoc, I am putting you on the line. I do hope that it works out. While we're at it, I might, let's see, inventory please. Might see if I can throw in MechJib. Might see if I can throw in MechJib and KER, the Kerbal Engineer module. So you can take them with them and mount them on the other heavy lifter that's currently in orbit. Okay, so that's 97 liters out of 300 liters. Okay. So we got the MechJib, we got the computer flight unit, good. We are gonna need the wrench. Good. This pylon. I don't think we'll need that pylon. This pylon's useful if you want to attach, like permanently attach or semi-permanently attach your craft onto the surface of the moon. It comes in handy, it makes things a bit less jumpy, a bit less bouncy, but we've not really needed it as of yet, so I'm just going to leave it be at the time being, for the time being. But this is going to be in the inventory. Ooh, of course, there are a couple of missions that we need to do. That is to rescue a Kerbal and his craft. So let's throw in a couple of parachutes. Parachutes. There we go. Radio mount. Make it a couple, why not? One more. No, we're out of space. Okay, cool. Close that. So our Jodoc will now fly up and he'll have a wrench, some parachutes to help with that rescue, because no single mission that we've done so far has ever really just done a single thing. I like to complicate things, I guess. Okay. Having a quick look, we have our heavy mining lander lifter, and load that. Yep. And if we got our mining lifter. And where is our fuel lander lifter? Okay. Would have liked to keep them together, but okay. Just double checking that the inventory is still there. Good. Not Jib, Jodoc. There we go. Lovely. Save that. Let's see how it flies. Okay, I just realized we're going to be pretty low on finances after this launch, so I really do hope we cannot afford another launch like this. So hopefully this goes well. No pressure, Jodoc. You hang in there, mate. Double checking our staging just to be sure. So engine and supports will detach first, then the fairing, then the stack separator and the 4 engines up there. I think that's everything. Let's activate ascent guidance. I think that's everything. So, launching in 5, 4, 3, 2. No, hang on. Our direction is completely wrong. If we had tried to launch this, we would have splatted sideways into the ground. Okay. Always, always, always make sure you're pointed in the right direction. Where is that command module? Oh. Aim camera, please. There you are. Control from here. Thank goodness for that. Okay, now that we're oriented the right way, our staging is correct, our autopilot is engaged. I think that's it. Starting countdown one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good liftoff. Delta V is 1.3. Fuel reserves at 90%. We're beginning our orbital pitch turn. .2 kilometers at 0.5 Mach. Delta V is 1.75. Sorry, throttle to weight ratio 1.8. 0.8 Mach 6 kilometers altitude. Supersonic, 300 meters per second. Thrust to weight, 2.04 and rising. Fuel reserves at 55%. (14 kilometers altitude, Mach 2). Fuel reserves at 50%. Mach 3, 21 kilometers altitude. Thrust to weight at 3.05. Fuel reserves at 40%. Mach 4.25, 30 kilometers altitude. Congratulations, Joe Doc, you are on your way to space today. Mach 5. Fuel reserves at 15%. Engine shut off. Headed for an apoapsis of 115 kilometers. Atmospheric pressure dropping down to 0. We're at 60 kilometers altitude. (70 kilometers). Fairing discarded. 15% fuel reserves remaining. Coming up to circularization burn. 528.6 meters per second in a 12-second burn. Our thrust to weight is now approaching 7, with the monster rocket engines in the back and nearly empty fuel tanks. Now we want to rendezvous with our previous lifter. So it's not called itself a relay. That's fine. Where are we? Oh, we're here. Okay. Oh, we're a lander. That's nice. So the relay is the one we're interested in. What about a rendezvous planner? Okay. And a rendezvous autopilot will actually allow us to rendezvous with it. That's cool. I'm not terribly interested in using the rendezvous autopilot. I'll just do it myself. It's not hard. I just keep not seeing it. There it is. So it's in front of us at the moment. What you typically want to do is if something's in front of you, you slow down your orbital speed to make yourself faster and to let it catch up to you. But in this case, we have the atmosphere in our way. So instead of doing that, I'm going to actually go faster in the orbital speed. That will actually slow us down and allow it to catch up to us. We'll just need to burn for a little while longer to get a sort of higher orbit so it'll get back to us quickly. This is not working as well as I'd hoped. That's more like it. No, we're gonna run out of atmosphere there, so there we go. So that is gonna cost 324 meters per second for it to catch up to us. Why not? While we're up here, we may as well deploy our solar panels. Getting a good bit of power draw from these reaction wheels. We're nearly lined up. We got a burn in 3 minutes 37, so we'll fast forward to that. There's something fishy here. Why are we aimed so off-center? Okay, that explains a great deal. Okay. That's much more like it. That will leave us on the same orbital plane. Lovely. "20 seconds to burn. Five seconds, throttling up. Beautiful. We have a closest intercept at 0.6 kilometers, relative speed 306 meters per second. Beautiful. So this is us, and this is the previous launch's lifter. We will dock with that and pick up some more fuel from there. and then we'll move on to the moon. There's our target. 31.5 kilometers out. ETA 100 seconds. Nine kilometers out, throttling up to burn off the excess speed. .5 kilometers away. 30 seconds out. .20 seconds. One kilometer out. Lovely, we're doing well. 250 meters away. .160 meters and closing. 4 meters per second. .100 meters. Slowing right down. Okay, speed is about 0. Docking ports aligned. Aligning a bit too much. Come on, get back here. Perfect. Hold there. Okay, coming in now. Looking good. 4.2 meters away. Very close. 2.5 meters. Almost. How are we doing? We're nearly there. Come on. Come on. Nearly there. We're at a slight angle, so we're having a little bit of trouble docking. Almost there. Come along. And we're having to do this in the dark. There we go. Note to self, I must install some headlights. If we're going to be docking in the middle of the dark with these enormous rockets all this time. Hello, alright. Let's transfer some fuel. That was quick. Is there any other tank? There is this one. Okay. So I've taken a little bit more oxidizer than I'd like. these up properly. So these are fine. But yeah, I want to dump this. Okay. Yeah, just err on the side of caution. Don't want to actually run out of oxidizer. But at the same time, I don't want to carry too much. Okay, that is the lifter craft now depleted of fuel, and it's just got well, it's got quite a bit of oxidizer really, but that is useless to us without any liquid fuel. Let's turn all of these off. And fast forward till we can get some sunlight. Okay, sunshine. Lovely. Now, having a quick look in here, it's time for us to undock. And control from here. Okay, this is now a virtually empty rocket, but it will act as a relay. Redundant at this altitude, but we'll be able to push it to a higher orbit at some point once we get it refueled. Anyway, so our delta V is now jumped to 1,016 meters per second for this particular rocket, and an extra 1395 for the lander. So that's more than enough for the lander to land itself, and that is now sufficient delta V for us to get to lunar orbit. Just once again making sure we're aimed the right way. Okay. Okay, Jodoc. Let's have a look at our missions. One tick. Rescue Merwin from orbit. Rescue Joan Rod from orbit. So we already have him. Merwin is somewhere on Kerbin. Okay. Rescue Albus. Yep. Those are all simple missions. We'll be able to rescue those guys in due course. Build a new surface outpost. That's great. Anybody on Minmus? Anybody on Moon? Sorry, on the Moon? Nope. There's a recover module, which is nice, but Asvin and Asvin's Hulk. Merwin. There's Merwin. Yep, so we want to get Asvin. That's Albus. That's Asvin. We want to get him and his Hulk, so his craft, back safely onto the surface. Is this feasible in our current situation? I'm gonna go with no. Some other time. Asvin. Let's get to the moon. Once we're on the moon, we'll have our fuel carrier separated, and it should have quite a bit more delta V after it's picked up some fuel from the surface. So all of those good things. Where are we again? We're here. And maneuver. Lovely. Yeah, good enough. So 815 meters per second, delta V. And then once we're around the moon, we'll throw a circularization node there. And that will cost 116 meters per second. Perfect. All right, 18 minutes to burn. We're nearly lined up. Okay, we're on the maneuver node. 18 minutes to go. Let's fast forward. And it looks like it's going to be another nighttime burn. 30 seconds to burn. We are indeed going to be on the dark side when we finally engage. Let's have a look. "20 seconds. "10 seconds. 5 seconds. Throttling up. This amazing monster rocket engine behind us is really eating up those delta V's. And we have overshot by a small margin. Okay. This is out of bounds, so we're going to try to fix the situation a little bit. I'm just using up our monopropellant at the moment, trying to bring us into a slightly higher orbit around the moon. Okay. Okay, I've managed to overshoot by just a little bit, and that is going to be too much for us. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to do our best. Going in nice and fast. We are now in the moon's sphere of influence. Don't really know what to do at this point because we're forgetting to speak. We're about 60 meters per second short because I managed to overshoot and gave us a much tighter orbit around the moon, so we need a lot more braking, relatively speaking, to get into a circular orbit. All we can really do is fire up the engine and pray, I guess, that we have enough left over in our monopropellant tanks. Let's try that. It's about 1:25 to burn. I'm just going to start throttling up early. And we have run out of fuel. A great deal of kick in those RCS thrusters for a rocket of this size, but I am hoping that I can bring that orbital line down to inside the moon's sphere of influence. I've disabled SAS so that it's not wasting our monopropellant trying to keep us level. We don't really need a circular orbit, we just need an eccentric orbit of some sort so that we don't leave the moon's sphere of influence. Come on. Yes, 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 yes. Now I may as well just use up the rest of that monopropellant, just so that we lose as much weight as possible. Because of course, once we're landed in the moon, we'll be able to generate a lot more monopropellant for us. Doing well. Bringing down that eccentricity. Still is somewhat eccentric, but... And that is it. We are out of monopropellant. Doing well. So our periapsis is 683 kilometers. Apoapsis is 1.561 million. That is perfectly acceptable. We can definitely work with. And why are we still in the? We're in the dark side of the moon. We're in the moon shadow, I should say. Fine. We cannot seem to get away from doing all of our operations in the dark, it seems. Anyway, let's stage and try to land this thing. That was supposed to detach something, but it hasn't. I'll just try one more time. There we go. Okay, throttling up. And we're loose. Trying to bring our orbit to something more resembling being circular. In fact, I think I might just bring it down as far as it'll go. Lovely. So this is the module that we need to pick up. It's on the surface, so we need a claw to pick it up and carry it away. Using up a little bit of power, so I'll just deploy all our solar panels. Oh, okay. Extend all solar, please. There we go. Now let's circularize this thing. Okay, good. Doesn't seem to want to turn towards the maneuver node. Oh well. Oh, okay. So I'm just changing our angle of orbit so that it will fly over the moon mining base. That's the first step in making sure that we land on it. Let's fast forward to that. 24 seconds to burn. Okay, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, throttling up. There we go. It looks like we're going to be landing in the dark again, so keeping up with tradition, I suppose. There we go. Slightly bit forward like that. That's looking good. Still don't know why the autopilot is not wanting to turn towards it, but so long as it turns to prograde retrograde, I'll be happy. There we go. So that's going to happen in 7 minutes. Let's fast forward to that. Three minutes to burn. 2 minutes. 1 minute. There is our mining base. 38 seconds. Mining base is 69 kilometers away. 15 seconds. 5 seconds. Throttling up. Three kilometers to mining base. Okay, judging by this trajectory, we're going to land right in front of it. Can't really tell distance from here to here, but it's going to be close. And times like this, I wish I had headlights. They're not expensive to add, you just have to remember to do it. Cannot absolutely see a single thing down there, it's just pure black. But we have our instruments, and that's all really we can go from. We are now at 30 kilometers altitude. Radar altitude, that is altitude measured to terrain, is 29.7. .32 kilometers to mining base. Trying to refine our landing site. Have a look. I think that's done it. We're just on top of it at the moment. Once we do our retrograde burn, this trajectory is probably going to end up in front of it rather than behind it. That's fine, because we are in a big hulking rover. We'll be able to drive to wherever we want to go once we have touched down. 17.5 kilometers up, we are going a little bit fast. Start to bleed off that speed. We're 14 kilometers away from the base. "13 kilometers up. Let's do some fine course corrections there. "10 kilometers altitude, 8.5 kilometers to our target." There we go, just using our instruments to keep that retrograde reticule on the reverse target. 6 kilometers away, 5.4 kilometers altitude. .5 kilometers radar altitude. .9 kilometers, 3 kilometers away. Doing well. 1.4 kilometers away, 1.2 kilometers altitude. .800 meters up, throttling up to kill all velocity. .500 meters away, looks like we have measured this distance quite well. Horizontal velocity dropping to 0. 350 meters up. 300 meters. 250 meters. 200 meters. 150 meters. 120 meters. Velocity has dropped to 3.3 meters per second, or about 10 kilometers an hour. Horizontal velocity has spun to just about 0. 80 meters. 70 meters. 50 meters. 30 meters. 15 meters. There we have washback from the ground. We're on the ground. And we cannot see a single thing. It is all black. Okay, Joe Doc, why don't you go EVA and activate your headlights so we can see where we're going. What's going on? Why can you not lift up? Something's happened and for some reason the gravity is insanely high at the moment, and yeah, our fellow is unable to lift up from the surface. It appears we've got a Kraken visit. Nope. No vertical velocity at all. Okay, I'm not really sure what to do now. His animation is going crazy as well. Okay, plant a flag for me. I'm gonna call this Joe Doc's mining site. And I'm just gonna switch craft to something else and come back, and hopefully the Kraken will leave us alone. And of course we've just completed the moon mission, which was to extract 450 units of ore from the moon. 159k and 19 units of reputation. Okay, we need to switch to something that's outside of this sphere of influence, or the local physics sphere, whatever you want to call it. Something that will cause the physics engine to reload. Okay. Same story, he's unable to lift up off the ground at all. Very strange sort of behavior like this. No. Oh, hang on. Of course, he's carrying quite a bit of weight, so he's unable to lift up off the ground. Okay. That would be why. Okay. So we cannot attach this to the ground. Just as well. Okay, leave it there then. Can you lift up now? No. Okay. That's what I forgot to do. We should have attached these. Should have attached these to the refueling depot. Ah well. At least we can take them with us now. How do we transfer our inventory? There's no control over inventory whatsoever. This is silly. We see a single thing on the ground. Not really. Just using our instruments at the moment. Okay. Need to slow us down quite a bit, in fact. Whoops, too far. Can you see a single thing? Come on. Can only just make it out. Why do I have to do these things in the dark? I think that's it. Very close. Easy, easy, easy. Come on. Whoa! Ah! Well, that goes one radiator. Yes. Okay, we are docked. We are one radiator short, but we are docked. Okay, we've just run out of power. Okay. And what is going on here? And yeah, it looks like I managed to do a bit more damage than I thought. I also damaged these solar panels. Great. Doesn't matter. The mining base is still able to operate. Wow, we even blew up this one. We lost a bit of capacity there. Let's see what happens if I retract some of these radiators. Okay, not seeing a marked increase in heat at the moment, so let's try this one. Okay, so it looks like it can run on just a single radiator at the moment, which is good. It is spending power though. Yep. Okay. So this is working, but we have impacted its ability to generate power, and I'm not really sure if Jodak can repair these solar cells. All we can do is try. Can you repair this? You cannot. Okay. No. Okay, Jodoc can do nothing about this. So Jodoc, you can go back inside. In fact, Jodoc, you can go inside the mining station. And John Rod can take your inventory. Okay. Now, John Rod, it's your turn. You don't actually need to be in there, so you can go inside. Come on. No, not that one. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna need to deliver some fuel cells over here, because solar cells are just not gonna cut it, especially now that we've ruined half of our solar generation capacity. But such is life. World first milestones. We started constructing the first outpost on the moon. That's cool. I think that will do it for this episode. When we come back, John Rod will go out and maybe perform another rescue or two, and then we'll send him home. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.